Welcome to today's lesson, the second example from section 6.1 about the standard normal distribution. The last example we saw where there was a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. You'll notice in this question it doesn't say that, but it does talk about z-scores. And when they talk about z-scores, they're saying they have already standardized it for you and shifted it so that the mean is 0 and the standard deviation is 1. So we're going to use everything we did before, just for a little different reason. So again, for all three of these, we're going to draw a picture. And in this case, we're looking for a probability, so it's probably going to be a dist question, that gas mileage is less than an escape. And an escape has a z-score of negative 0.52, which would be about there. And it says less than, so we'll shade to the left. It is a dist question, so I'll use the probability notation. And since it is a less than, that means I don't need a complement rule or a between rule. I can go straight to Excel. And I'll type that in a minute when I get all three of these set up. So part B also gets a picture. The probability of an SUV having gas mileage greater than, so I'm going to shade to the right, a CRV. And a CRV has a z-score of 1.24. So over there. It is a dist question, so we're going to use our probability notation. But this time it's a greater than, so we need the complement rule. And the complement rule changes it to a less than, which means we can use Excel. And again, I'll come back and calculate all three of these after we do the third one. And the last part, the probability that a gas mileage is between the escape and the CRV. So the escape was negative 0.52 and the CRV was 1.24, and they were very nice and actually used the word between, which is not uncommon. And again, we know the 2 marks. We don't know how much we shaded, so it's a dist question. And our between rule says we do the bigger number minus the smaller number. And I'll go calculate all three of these. So for part A, we have norm.s.dist of negative 0.52 comma true, or 0.3015. For part B, don't forget the 1 minus. This time of 1.24, comma true, or 0.1075. And part C, the two norm disks subtracted from each other, and we get 0.5910. So again, very much what we did earlier, just different reasons why we're doing it, but it's exactly the same times to use the complement rule, times to use the between rule, always using true. Hopefully this was an easy example for you, but as always, if you have questions, please ask.